Hey everybody, this is Brett, and today I am going to show you the absolute best weight loss diet, 100% guaranteed. You are going to learn the foods that you need to eat to be able to lose a lot of weight. And right now my fridge is stocked, the table is even stocked, and I've got some good foods in there. We're going to check it out and learn exactly how and why we're overweight and people are so freaking fat. I can't hardly even find, I don't even see any women out there my age that aren't really overweight. And so, I mean, it's kind of depressing, and I've got to do something about this. So let's get started. Okay, so here I have whole grains and beans. Here's some black beans. There's some rice. I believe that's basmati. And quinoa. Some quinoa. And most people, you will see that they have bread on their shelves. Bread. I don't have any of that. These are all whole grains. I can kind of tell what they are by feeling. That one is... What is that one? That one feels like rice too. Beans. It's better to have them in a glass jar so you can see what they are. There's buckwheat. There's some seeds up here. There's some sunflower seeds. Some apricot pits, some pumpkin seeds. And so you can see that I do not buy pre-packaged very much of anything. Most of it I have to cook, I have to prepare it, and that's something that you have to get used to if you want to get healthy and lose weight. You have to get rid of packaged foods for the most part. Okay? I know that's hard for a lot of you to accept. But that's how it is. And glutinous grains, get rid of that completely. Okay, so I've got some foods out here in my big bowl that don't need refrigeration and or that need to be ripened more. You'll see I've got some nice pomegranates that are in season right now. Those are organic that I bought at the co-op in Asheville yesterday. And some persimmons that are ripening up. And of course some local butternut squash. Oh, those need to be either thrown away. That's out of here. This one needs to be used because it's starting to get bad. Some garlic, plenty of garlic is maturing there. Some acorn squash. Really good, healthy, whole fruits and vegetables. Couple bananas left. Got a deal on that. A big bag of bananas for a couple of bucks. Okay, so let's move on. Wait, I forgot to show you this. This is Dulse Flakes from Maine Coast Sea Vegetables, seaveg.org. It's good to sprinkle those on food. Gives you lots of trace minerals and iodine. Super healthy. Okay, let's check out what's in my fridge. Woo! Yeah, that looks healthy, alright. Okay, so down here we've got some kale. This is not local, but it's not too bad. I'm gonna eat some of that today. We've got some green apples, some limes and a lemon in there. Over here we've got some local parsnips. It's really important to eat root vegetables this time of the year. It's the fall time. And some cabbage. Really healthy to rebuild my digestive system. I need to keep eating that and eating that and eating that and eating that. Okay, there's a nice sweet potato. Got some fennel down there. It lasts a long time, that fennel. Some hot peppers. Locally grown hot peppers. Put that back. Okay, so I bought this yesterday at the co-op. Some tempeh. Great big thing of tempeh. It was like $11. And organic onions, yellow onions. That'll last me a while. Back here I have some tomatoes. These are the tomatoes that I saved from my garden that I opened. Anyways, I dried them out in the dehydrator. I've got 3 of them back there. That'll last me quite a while. Salad. And this is, can't remember the name of this kind of lettuce, but it's like an Asian pot soy or something like that, pot soy. Anyways, here's some leftovers. Okay, so butternut squash seeds roasted. Soup that I made a few days ago. I made a great big pot of soup a few days ago, and right now once again I'm making another pot, and this is starting with chicken bones. I stewed these chicken bones yesterday. I'm going to stew them for a few more hours, and then I'm going to strain that and then add vegetables. It's also got apple cider vinegar in it so that it draws the minerals and stuff out of the glucosamine and chondroitin and stuff out of the bones. Okay, this is leftovers. So it's got squash, it's got a bunch of raw carrots and cabbage and parsley. It's got some cooked beans. This is just a bunch of stuff that I threw in the pot that was all left over from different dishes. Okay, I've got some organic Coleman chicken. I'll feed most of that to the dog. And I feed her raw. All raw chicken. Here is some corn tortillas. Now that would not be a weight loss item, but at least it doesn't have gluten in it. Okay. And here's some dried flax crackers that I made in my dehydrator. Really yummy. I eat some of that every day. Omega-3 fatty acids. Okay, parsley from my garden. Parsley. Really good for freshening your breath and killing bacteria. Carrots. In here I've got a bunch of potatoes, locally grown organic potatoes. Here's a couple of tomatoes from my garden, last ones. Those are the last ones. And let's see. Over here I've got some organic juices. There's some cranberry and some grape, Concord grape. And this is the last of the salsa from my garden. And here's the kombucha. I need to make another batch of that pretty soon. And I've been eating a lot of grapefruits. Grapefruits have grapefruit seeds, of course, and they're really bitter. So grapefruits are good for killing off candida. Also, you'll notice that I've been eating a lot more green apples instead of the other kinds of apples. The green apples are sour and the grapefruit is bitter. And you kind of need to get some of that regularly into your diet to kind of satisfy your taste needs, if you will. And also, those foods are antibacterial. They're not really sweet, that they're the ones that are recommended if you've got candida, okay? And they're good to consume like on a regular basis because it helps to keep all of that in check, if you will. And I love to eat olives. I eat a lot of olives, and these have garlic in them. Stuffed garlic. Yum. Okay, avocados. I eat quite a bit of avocado, and these are the fat foods. Okay, so you've got to have some fat, but you don't want to consume too much fat, you know? And you want to consume healthy, whole, fresh, organic foods. You don't want to consume anything that's like a processed food. Always, always read the labels. Anything with a label like should say something really simple on it. This says Kalamata olives, water, organic red wine vinegar, and salt. And that's it. Okay, simple ingredients labels. Okay, let's see what's in the freezer. Okay, in the freezer I have a bunch of organ meats, beef and chicken, that I have purchased for me and the dog, that I pull out here and there to add to soups and stews and fry them or whatever. And that is because those are the foods that have concentrated B vitamins for the most part in them. And you've got to get that regularly, especially if you're doing a lot of cleansing. Now, some people have better digestion and some people don't have as good a digestion. Some people need to do a lot more cleansing and some people don't need to do near as much cleansing. The more you're losing nutrients and or the less you're absorbing nutrients, the more you need to be able to consume these kinds of foods. Okay, so I also have some frozen strawberries and raspberries and blueberries that I add to smoothies, or I just consume them. I just throw them on a bowl or plate, add a little peanut butter for some fat, and eat that. And I do that pretty much daily. In here I've got the chicken bones. That I add to the soups. And let's see, I need to pull that chicken back out for chakra today. Okay, it should be noted here that you won't see any dairy. No yogurt, no kefir, no butter, no cottage cheese, no milk, no nothing in this kitchen. And that is because I have learned the hard way from owning my own goat, milking my own goat, range-free, totally pure and natural. It didn't work for me. And if you think about it logically, no adult animal, and human beings are mammals, an animal, a warm-blooded animal. No adult animal in this world consumes another animal's milk. And it's totally illogical. It's a handicap. It's like having crutches on all the time. Dairy is a buffer food, a concentrated buffer food. And the way that they make dairy nowadays is so totally illogical, and like even if you've got your own animal, it just doesn't make sense, and it didn't work for me. So that's my thoughts on dairy, and a lot of people are going to be just so like against me for that. I will get so many comments from people. It's like, how can you do it? People just like, and it's because it's so addictive. Dairy foods are one of like, it was harder for me to get off of dairy than drinking alcohol. And I was a weekly drinker, not like a total alcoholic, but I did have a bit of an addiction. I think that it was harder for me to get rid of dairy than quitting cigarettes. And that was hell. So you can expect that a lot of people are going to be very against me for saying all of that, against their dairy. I'm in a pinch and I need some food fast, I've got some canned foods down here. Now I would like to have those canned foods in jars, and that means that I have to put them up myself. Right now I don't have that time, so I'm just settling for these kinds of, this is wild Alaskan pink salmon, and these are like $2.50, $3 a can. I'll give these to the dog regularly whenever I'm in a pinch and I don't have food made. And I don't feed her any dog food. I feed her all of the same foods that I eat, all fresh foods, and I just treat her as though she's an extra family member, and that's it. Okay, so there's, and this is all organic. Corn, peas, kidney beans, green beans, that's all organic. I don't eat a lot of canned foods because I'm usually on it and able to make fresh foods regularly. But yeah, so in here I have some dried fruit and nuts. These are bilberries that are supposedly good for your eyes. Almonds, figs. I love figs. Figs have a lot of calcium too. Brazil nuts. And nuts and seeds are getting really expensive, and that's because they're becoming a lot more in demand. And the reason for that is because people are getting so loaded with chemicals, and the fat in nuts and seeds helps you to absorb those chemicals and helps you to feel better. Also, they have a lot of minerals. Nuts and seeds have a lot of minerals in them that you need to feel good and be healthy and maintain your body. Okay, so prunes, apricots, mega vitamin A. The prunes have a lot of iron and they make you poop. And pistachios, all these have different qualities and nutrients too. And so it's good to have a really wide variety. Those are dried tomatoes. It's good to have a wide variety. And walnuts. Walnuts have a pretty good amount of omega-3 in them too. Really important. What's in that? Can't remember. Okay, so yeah, it's good to have an ample supply of dried fruits and nuts. Okay, in the cupboard here is where I keep all my spices. I just bought this yesterday, orange peel. And that's dried onion flakes. Pepper. Paprika. That's marjoram. Curry, I just bought that yesterday at the co-op. And I always use these glass containers for this. Write the tear down on them and the product number, etc. So there's where all my spices are. There's about, I don't know, 25 of them or so. And I've got my dishes there. Once in a while I'll make non-glutinous pancakes. And that's what all of this is up here. I don't make it very often, maybe once a week, something like that. But there's some sorghum flour, non-glutinous. There's some corn flour. I'll have to make some corn tortillas sometime. Back here is some amaranth flour. Baking soda to make it rise, flaxseed meal. You also, I consume eggs too. Okay, we both consume eggs. Right now I didn't have any eggs in the fridge because I forgot to get them. But there's some flaxseed and flaxseed meal up there too. Here's the salt I'm using, Himalayan pink salt right now. I also like regular gray sea salt. And I also like the real salt from Utah, my good old home state. Up here is sesame seeds, and these are the whole brown sesame seeds. Can you see those? The whole brown sesame seeds. I always get those and not those whiteys. Back here is some coconut flour. I add that sometimes to the flax crackers. It's really good. There's some sweetener, organic honey. I only use natural sweeteners, unprocessed with all the minerals still in them, okay? Here is sorghum from Muddy Pond Sorghum in Tennessee, which is only a couple 100 miles from here. Sorghum is a really like rich, quote unquote, molasses-like substance. It's really, really yummy. Has a lot of iron and other minerals, calcium in it, and it's a really yummy sweetener. Here's a bag of figs. Love my figs. So, oh, and seaweeds. This is kelp. No, this is alaria. I also like kelp, and like I said, dulse. So, I think that pretty much covers it. And if you'll eat like this, you'll lose a lot of weight, and over time you'll get healthy. Bear in mind though that it's not just a matter of diet. There is so much involved up here, in here. Your lifestyle, the air quality, the water quality, all of it, okay? I'm addressing everything holistically, okay? So I want to thank you for joining me, and I hope that you have enjoyed this video and learned a lot. Oh, be sure to subscribe if you're not. Be sure to like this video, and be sure to check out my website, Brett's Natural Health. I'll be out on the porch today making soother tools and foot friends. See all that wood down there? And in that white package on the counter, that's all wood for me to make foot friends and soothers. So thanks for joining me. Be wet.